Hello, week 2 of our Pilates on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed last week. Hope you enjoyed all the classes last week. Same again this week, there's loads of options. So there's sort of beginner level and then you can take it up, but only if it feels good. If anything is uncomfortable or you have any injuries, please just be careful. Take it easy and stop whenever you need to. So you might just need a mat. Maybe you've got a pillow, a rolled up towel, maybe a Pilates ball, just for some of the movements if you do need it. But I'm not using any equipment today. Just to say, there is a little bit of outside noise today. There's quite a lot going on in Bells, so sorry if you hear that. Try and not be distracted by it. And let's get going. So we're going to start standing up today. And I just want you to take your feet underneath your hips. Find the 4 corners of each foot. And soften your knees off, so you're not pushing them back and locking them out. The joints are nice and soft. And I'm just going to turn to the side here. We want to make sure that we're not tilting the hip too much. So we want to tuck the tailbone, and we're going to draw the belly button in to create that nice long spine. We're going to open up the chest, drop the shoulder blades down the back of the body. We've got nice long arms by the sides, and we're tucking the chin in just gently. We're going to take the ear to the shoulder, and very gently, we're just going to let the head roll forwards, tucking the chin in, and then bring opposite ear to shoulder. Don't roll the head backwards. We just switch the opposite direction. So we should feel a stretch there, coming through the side of the neck. And we're just slowing the breathing down. Becoming conscious of the breath. So inhale through your nose and exhale through the mouth. Maybe just hold it on that side if you feel a good stretch. Remember, we want to press this shoulder down, keeping the shoulders level with one another, and take it across to the opposite side. Just stopping there for a second. All right, roll to the center and lift the chin. Let's take it into the shoulders now. So taking a breath in, roll the shoulders forwards and up towards the ears. Exhale, push them back and down. Breathing in and breathing out. So finding a bit of movement, mobility through the shoulders. And then switch direction. So go backwards, shrug to the ears, and then roll to the front. Pinching the shoulder blades together at the back. We're going to take the hands in front now, hands together. Try and keep the chest open, so we're not rounding through the upper back. We've still got that nice posture through the spine. So we're going to imagine we're shooting a bow and arrow here. So we're going to bring the elbow in towards the side of the body. We're going to keep the hips facing forwards. We're pulling that elbow all the way back, and we're just looking over the shoulder, and we're getting a spinal twist. So we bring it to the front, and you're going to switch arms. So breathe in, breathe out, draw the elbow behind you, keep it in nice and close to the side of the body, look over the shoulder, and bring it back to the front. Good, breathing in, and breathing out. Hips face forwards, breathe in, and breathe out to the front. Good. So we're turning the shoulders, the chest, but not the hips. We keep the hip bones facing the front as much as we can to get the nice twist for the spine. Good, and release the arms off there. We're going to take a breath in, take the arms overhead, clasp the fingers together, and push up towards the ceiling. Nice full body stretch. Release the fingers, you're going to soften the knees, and you're just going to swing the arms, breathe in, Breathe out, push up overhead. Good, release, breathe in. Breathe out. Nice, another few of those. You can swing as much as you like, so you might really let the upper body go, creating a bigger bend in the knees, or you might just keep it small. Okay, this time, push up, hold it there. You're gonna push it over to one side. So arms are by the ears, fingers are still clasped, and you're pushing the palms of the hands away. We're reaching over to the side, opening up this side of the body for a stretch. Bring it into the middle, swing the arms. Push up overhead, take it over to the opposite side. Good, into the center, swing the arms, bend the knees. Push it up from the center and over to the side. Nice side bend here, up to the top. Swinging the arms, softening the knees, pushing overhead and across to the side. Good, bring it to the center and just release the arms down. We're going to warm up the legs slightly with some squats. Return to the side, just for the first few, so you can see it there. We're maybe taking the feet a little bit wider, possibly turning the toes out slightly. Now we want to push the weight back into our heels. So straight arms, shoulder blades together. You're pushing your bum back like you're sitting in a seat. We're going to take the arms up overhead as we do so, and then we lift. So weight in the heels, keep that tuck of the tailbone, belly nice and tight, back is nice and long, and it's there. So pushing back and lifting up, keeping that chest open. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We want to make sure knees are tracking over the tops of our toes, so knees aren't going in or out too much. We're going to start to add a pull. So we stay in that squat position and we're going to pull the elbows into the side of the body, reach overhead and stand up. So we squat down, we stay there, we pull the elbows wide, elbows towards the waist there, and then stand up. Good, another feel like that. Elbows come into the waist, squeeze the shoulder blades together, reach overhead and release. Couple more. Keep focusing on the breath. Remember, you don't need to bend the knees too much. It's maybe a smaller squat for you, but you're still pushing the bum back. Weight in the heels and release off. Good. Okay, we're going to go into our roll downs. So we find that posture again, feet underneath your hips. Shoulders relaxed, chest open. We're taking a breath in at the top. Exhale, tuck the chin from the top of the spine. You're rolling down. Soften the knees here. Draw the belly button in. Go as far as you need to. Fingers maybe reach the floor, maybe they don't. Once we hit the bottom, we roll from the bottom of the spine through the back, opening the chest at the top. Breathing in, breathing out. Tuck the chin, belly in, knees soft. Arms are heavy here. Maybe we support hands on thighs if we need to. And rolling up. You can go as quick, as slow as you need to, but we're just working into the spine, warming it up, lengthening out the muscles of the back of the body. Okay, let's do that one more time. I'm going to come to the opposite side. So you're rolling all the way down. And then from there, you're going to walk your hands along the floor, bringing it down onto your knees. A couple of options for this next one. We're going to come into our plank. So we want the hands underneath the shoulders, opening up the chest. We want a nice long line with the body here. So we're drawing the belly button in. We're tucking the hips under, tucking the tailbone under. And I just want you to tuck your toes under here. And all we're gonna do with the toes tucked is push the heels away, lifting the knees from the floor, creating that nice long line. And then you're just gonna release down. So we tuck and we lift. If your wrists are a little bit weak and you find this position quite uncomfortable, you can come down onto your forearms and your elbows. Okay, so you tuck. Taking a breath in and a breath out. Now you either stick with that option, focusing on getting that nice long line. So we want to make sure we're looking down at the fingertips and that we're not pushing the bum up and looking through at the feet. So nice long body. If we're feeling quite strong there, we can add on. So we're going to come up to the plank position. And we're going to lift one foot, pointing the toe away. You release, and you switch sides. Now we're trying to keep the hips super still here. If that is too much, remember, just come here, down, and lift. Down, and lift. Or lift and point, and switch. Good. From there, bringing the knees down, pushing it back into child's pose. Roll out those wrists. Round through the spine. Good. And then from there, we're coming to all fours. This time, hands beneath your shoulders and knees beneath your hips. The back is nice and flat, so we've got that little tailbone tucked under, the belly button being drawn in towards the spine. Shoulder blades together, chest is open, and we're going to extend one leg out behind us, starting with the toes on the floor. So lengthening through that leg, activating the muscles. We're going to bring that leg, that foot to hip height. Now using the big toe on that foot, we're going to draw around to the outside edge of the mat. And I want you to imagine you're drawing a rainbow, up, round, crossing over that other leg, and tap into the opposite edge of your mat. So we come up, round, and tap. We're still drawing the belly button in, keeping the back nice and strong, but we're drawing that semicircle with the big toe. So when we're at the top of that movement, the foot and the leg should be in line with the hip. So make sure it's not too low. We're lifting and we tap. Squeezing through the back of the leg. Finding the movement through the hip. Keeping the weight balanced between the right and the left hands. Go for another couple here. Each way. A nice light tap on the floor. Good. Okay, I want you to stop in the middle. I want you to push the heel away. And this time you're drawing with your heel little circles. So you go round. Keep that leg lifted. 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze in the bum. 3, 2, 1. Reverse your circle. Around and round. Just a little movement. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring that knee down. All right, just quickly release through the shoulders, through the wrists. Maybe a child's pose, just to stretch out between sides. And once you're ready, you're coming back to that position. Most important thing is finding that strong, long spine. So little tailbone tuck, Nice flat lower back. Okay, we're taking the opposite leg out nice and long, pointing the toe. Finding our balance, drawing that belly button in, and we lift the leg, the foot, to hip height. So we draw out, outside edge of the mat, rainbow, up and over to the opposite side. Lift and tap. Pushing through the hands evenly, keeping the chest open, pulling that belly button in, being aware of how the body is moving. We squeeze the muscles in the back of the leg and the bum as we lift the leg up. And we want to make sure the hips are stable here. So they're not tilting, they're not moving around too much. We're keeping the hips square to the floor. Another couple each way here. Drawing that nice big rainbow shape. It's high in the middle, up and over, up and over. And again, we are going to finish in the middle, leg nice and long, no bend in the knee. Push the heel away, small circles, round and round. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Opposite way. Draw the belly button in. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Good. Pushing back. Releasing through the wrists. Maybe bring the hands, the arms behind you. Just taking a moment there. Okay, and from there, we're going to come down onto the front side of our body. So just take your time to lower yourself down. So we want to lengthen the legs out behind us, pointing the toes, making sure the hip bones are level. We're trying to tuck the tailbone again. We're lifting the belly button out of the mat. And the tip of the nose is just touching your mat. We've got a nice long neck. And we're going to take the arms and the hands up overhead. Now we can start with the chest on the floor here. But we're going to lift the palms off of the floor. Now, like with our squats, we're going to pull the elbows into the waist, keeping the hands and the arms off of the floor. You're then going to extend your arms back, reaching your fingers towards your heels, and then you're going to draw out wide, all the way up overhead. Keep squeezing the bum here, lift the belly button out of the floor. So elbows to waist, squeeze your shoulder blades. Keep squeezing shoulder blades, reach back. Keep hands and arms off of the floor, all the way forwards. Elbows to waist, squeeze, reach, back, reach, all the way overhead. Now, if you want to stay with chest on floor, however, if the lower back is strong enough and we can keep drawing that belly button in, then we're going to lift the chest from the floor as we move through this. Elbows to waist, reach, chest is lifted, and then you can bring the chest down. So we lift, elbows in, reach back, squeeze the bum, reach overhead, lower down. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Remember, if it suits you better, just keep the chest on the floor, but focus on keeping the hands and the arms up off of the ground. Let's do one more here. Good, and lower down. So we're working the back of the body, the upper body. One last thing to do here. We're going to take the arms up overhead. Again, either chest down or chest lifted. Now we're bringing the elbows into the waist only, and we're going to pulse. So we're going to squeeze and squeeze. We're going to do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Good. A little bit of a stretch here for the chest if it feels good. You're going to take the hands, clasp them together behind the back of the body. You're going to pull the knuckles towards the floor, towards the heels, lifting the chest, opening through the front of the shoulders and the chest. Keep squeezing the bum to protect the lower back, and then lower all the way down. Good, from there we're going to turn over onto our side, so just take your time. So you might want to use a block or a pillow, rolled up towel, whatever. Maybe you're okay with head on the arm, or you can support yourself, head in the hands. Just take a little look down your body. We should be lining up with the front edge of your mat, so we should be nice and long and straight. So we want to make sure shoulder under shoulder, hip under hip, knee under knee, ankle under ankle. We're again drawing the waist up out of the floor, so it should be quite light beneath the ribs. We're using this hand just lightly in front for a little bit of support. And we've just got some leg lifts, so we're going to pick up the top leg. Doesn't have to go too high, and we lower down. We want lots of stability in the hips here. So make sure the front of the thigh, the kneecap stays facing the front of the room. It doesn't rotate towards the ceiling. Yep. Making sure we're not rolling backwards onto our bum, but also making sure we're not rolling forwards onto the belly. Good. So lift and squeeze. 6 more. 5. 4. Keeping it nice and long, squeezing the muscles in the legs. Couple more. And this time we're going to lift the leg and hold it there. We're pointing the toe. Now I need you to imagine, to activate the muscles in the front of the thigh, that you're pulling your kneecap upwards. You have to give these muscles a nice squeeze and point the toes. We are going to again draw a rainbow shape. So we're going to tap to the front edge of the mat. We lift that leg so that the foot is higher than the hip, if we can, and then we tap behind, keeping those hips stable. Up, over, tap. Up, over, tap. Now, if you feel a little bit wobbly, remember, use this front hand, but if you need to, you can bend the back bottom knee. And you're just tapping front of the mat and back of the mat. So again, we're getting that nice movement in the hip joint. Good. Up and over. Again, a couple more here. Keeping that leg long so there's no bend in the knee. Good. Okay, and we're going to hold in the middle at that highest point. We're going to push the heel away and we're going to draw little circles. So we go round and round for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now rest if you need to, otherwise we reverse. And we keep going, we keep moving for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower that leg down. Good. Nice work. Ouch, I felt that one. Okay, last week we had our side plank, so that lift in the reach. We're going to add on a little bit to that this week. So again, we're going to bring the elbow underneath your shoulder. Make sure it's not too far away. That palm is nice and flat for support. So we can bend the bottom knee. That is your first option. And we're going to use that top leg nice and long with the foot on the floor. We're lifting the waist already, okay? Drawing that belly button in. We're going to reach that top hand up and we're going to push through the knee and the foot to create this nice long line. We're going to reach with the fingers of this top hand. So we're going to lift the hips even higher as we reach underneath the body. And then we lift up. Now, if you need to release down in between each one, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, you lift, you reach, and you keep those hips lifted. Good. Now, if you want to take it a little bit further, you scissor your feet, both legs are long, no knees on the ground. Remember, we push those hips up to reach underneath. I don't know how many we've done, but we're going to do 3 more. So this is your option here. Knees are stacked, but one leg is long and one knee is bent. Good. 1 more. Now fingertips to the ceiling. Hold it there on the knee or on the feet for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Good. Okay, let's push it up onto the bottom. We can just cross the legs over or sit however is comfortable. We're going to clasp the fingers together. We're going to push up overhead. Find that stretch down through the arms, the armpits, down the side of the body. And keep pushing away. We've got a little tilt to the side. Really push that top arm up and over. Arms by the ears. Lift to the top. Hand over. Up to the top and release it off. Good, we're going to come over onto the other side and do exactly the same thing again. So take your time to come down to the floor, lowering it down either head rested or holding it in the hand. Do that little check. Is the body nice and straight? Lining up with the front edge of your mat. We're lifting the ribs, they feel light. We're lifting through the waist. And maybe you're bending that bottom knee if you need that extra support with your balance. Hips stacked, hip bones should be facing towards the front. And we've got the leg lift up and down to start. Up and down. Remember, it doesn't need to be huge, doesn't need to be high, but it does need to be controlled. So we're pointing the toes, we're squeezing the leg muscles, we're starting to work into the side of the leg, the side of the glutes. Another few here. Light support from that front hand. And we're going to lift and we're going to hold it ready for our rainbows. So we tap to the front. We draw up, round, and tap behind. Trying to keep the upper body as still as we can as we do so. There's going to be a little bit of movement, of course, but we brace the core nice and tight. Keep it as strong as possible. Remember, nice and light underneath those ribs. Tap and lift. Making sure at the top of the movement, the foot is nice and high, hip height or higher. Just to make sure that we're working those muscles. We should feel them heating up. Another one to the back and to the front. And then we lift and we hold. Push the heel away. Leg is nice and long. Look how my foot is just slightly higher than my hip. We're going to draw circles round. And round, doesn't matter what direction. There's another 7. 6, bend the knee if you need to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can rest or you reverse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. You can give it a little pat there if you're feeling it like me. Okay, and then we're going to bring ourselves up onto the elbow, the forearm. Remember, underneath the shoulder, get that nice position. We're lifting the ribs, the waist away from the ground. Bottom knee bent, top leg straight, or both legs straight. Okay, arm reaches up and we pull the hips nice and high, creating that nice long line down the side of the body. And we're threading the needle. So we're reaching under towards the back of the room, and then we reach towards the ceiling. So push those hips up, pressing the knee into the floor. Good. Remember, if you want to, up here. Nice. Whatever option suits you better, you go with that one. And maybe that reach underneath isn't for you, and that's absolutely fine. What you can do instead is the same as last week, with just that side plank lift. Can you reach a little further underneath? We're going to do a couple more. You can do it. Last one. And hold it there. Breathing in through nose and out through mouth. Stay with it for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Good. Okay, we're going to come straight onto our back. So just roll it on over. And we're going to lengthen the legs out. Arms by your side. Roll the shoulders back, opening up your chest. Drawing the belly button in. Okay, and I want you to turn the thighs outwards. So the inner thigh is facing towards the ceiling. Now you can bend the opposite knee here for a little bit of support if you need to, or keep it long on the floor. So we're rotating the leg outwards. And that means when we lift this leg, we have to activate the inner thighs to bring it up and to lower it down. So the knee is facing out to the side, toes are turning out to the sides, and we're squeezing the inner thigh muscle to lift, and then we gently lower back down. So option is here, up and down. Good. Couple more. Squeeze. Don't just lift the leg, let's use the muscles. Think about them working. The next one, we're going to hold the leg nice and high. Now I'll give you your option in a second. Arms wide here, lower back down. We're going to drop the leg towards the floor, then we're going to circle around. So it's like you're drawing a circle with your big toe. Now we're keeping that leg turned out the whole time. Now you can draw a smaller circle, or you can sweep bigger. If you're struggling with that straight leg, you can bend the knee and just draw a small circle there. We want to keep the hips nice and stable, so we're not rocking from side to side. Now can you change direction? So you go out, then lift with the inner thigh muscles. Out. Make sure you're not rocking through the hips. Let's keep them nice and stable. So you can hold the hip bones if you need to. Squeeze that inner thigh. Let's do another one. Lift, and then bend the knee. We're going to switch legs. So lengthen the opposite leg if it's not already. Remember, we're turning the leg outwards. And we lift up with the inner thigh facing the ceiling. Up and down. Pointing the toe, activating the leg muscles, keeping the belly drawn in so that we're still strong through the core, we're stable through the upper body. Another couple there. As we lift, we hold, and then we draw down, round, up to the top. Draw with the big toe. Down, round, up to the top. Remember, if you need to bend the knee, or if you prefer, forget about the circles and just stick with the leg lift. That might be better for you. Another one in that direction. You're going to stop there, you're going to reverse. Can we keep it a nice big circle? Remember, lifting with that inner thigh. So round, squeeze the inner thigh, good. Round, and up. A few more here. Pointing the toe, nice long leg. We're still holding on to those hips to keep them stable. Still draw that belly button in to keep it stable. Last one, up to the top, big squeeze, and release. Down. Good. Okay, we're going to pick up one knee above the hip, and then the other. You're going to take your arms nice and wide here, relax your shoulders. So keeping the knees sort of that distance away, we don't want them to come closer. We're going to roll slightly to one side, keeping the shoulder blades on the floor, dropping the knees, stopping where you need to. Now use the core muscles to pull the body back into the center. And then you drop to the opposite side. So you should feel a twist through the spine. We feel the core muscles working. Now, if this is just a little bit too much for you, don't worry. You can bring the tips of the toes to the floor. Keep the knees together. And it's the same kind of movement. Don't worry about your knees coming all the way to the floor. Just go as far as you need to. And you might be familiar with this one, so that you know you can come to one side, you can extend the top leg, you can bend to the middle, or if you wish even further, you point both legs, point both toes. Whatever feels good for you. Couple more here. Keeping those shoulder blades down, belly drawn in. We're still breathing in through nose and out through mouth. Last time here. And bring it into the center and lower those feet. Done. Nice work. Okay, last thing to do here, we've got some crunches. So we're going to start with the feet on the floor. Knees hip distance apart, and we're going to bring hands lightly to the back of the head, elbows are nice and wide. We're going to imagine this bottom rib coming towards your hip bone, and we're going to pull that belly button in towards the spine, creating that crunch in the stomach. So we breathe in, and we breathe out to lift, tucking the chin slightly, breathing in to lower, exhale to lift, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. I have an option for you. If you want to take it a little bit further, knees above the hips. Squeeze the thighs together. Exhale and inhale. Good. Trying to lift the shoulder blades off of the floor. If this is too much with the feet lifted, just bring them back down. Press the feet into the ground. Another couple. Let's do one more. And lower down. Good. So you're going to extend the legs here. We've got a roll up. So you can use momentum from your arm if you know the core alone isn't strong enough to lift you. Or you can use your hands on the floor, pushing through the backs of the arms and the elbows to help you get up. Okay, so the legs are long. Let's push the backs of the legs into the ground. Squeeze the thighs together, taking a breath in. Exhale, tuck the chin and lift. All right, I want you to reach forwards past the toes, drawing the belly button in. Breathe in, lift, nice long spine. Exhale, can we roll back down? Now, if you need to, hands on the floor, roll all the way down, arms up overhead. And again, so we're rolling up to the spine, lifting vertebrae by vertebrae, legs long, and reach. Let's do a couple more if we need to. Hands on the floor to help you roll back. Bend at the knees if you need to. And we might use a little bit of momentum in those arms to help us get up. Do whatever fits you best. Maybe you're just going halfway from the top. And the last one. Pushing forward for that reach. And then lifting and sitting nice and tall. We're going to keep one leg straight. Bring the opposite foot in. Hands on the floor, keeping your spine nice and long. We're going to pull the chest and the belly towards the thigh, finding a stretch through the back of the leg. You might reach a little further, maybe towards the ankle, the foot. Okay, lifting the chest nice and tall. Take your hand to the outside of that knee, and we're just going to twist around here. So looking over the back shoulder. And release off. We're going to switch the legs. So take one leg in front, opposite foot in towards the inner thigh, supporting with the hands. We might have enough of a stretch up here, so don't feel the need to push forwards if it's uncomfortable for the back of the leg. But you do want to find that stretch. So go as far as you need to find that light stretch. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. And lifting the chest, hand to the outside of the thigh. Twisting round. So turn with the shoulders and the chest, looking backwards. And bringing it back to the front. Okay, so we're going to take the legs nice and wide here, as wide as they'll go. We're going to point the toes up towards the ceiling. Hands either behind, and you're just focusing on sitting nice and tall. However, if you can, take the hands in front, keep the toes pointing up, and you're just going to gently tip your upper body forward. So again, pulling the chest down, making sure you're not just tucking the chin under. Finding a stretch for the inner thighs, through the hips. And gently lifting the chest from there. Crossing the legs over, if it's comfortable. If not, sitting another way. Taking a breath in, reaching one arm up, and then reaching over on the exhale. Staying on the hand, maybe coming down onto the elbow. Finding length through the top side of the body. And then switching over.
Bringing it into the center, sitting nice and tall, so belly drawn in, so we've got a nice straight flat back, shoulders relaxed, maybe hands on the knees. We're just going to roll the shoulders a few times, so breathing in, shrugging shoulders to ears, exhale, rolling back. Again, breathing in and breathing out. And relax the shoulders down. And that's it for today. Don't know about you, but I thought that passed very quickly. So I can't wait to get back into the hour slots when it is face-to-face teaching. We've only got a couple of weeks to wait, so I hope you're ready for coming back in. I hope you enjoyed today. You can take the next 10 minutes just for a little bit of relaxation if you wish, or maybe you're ready to get going with the rest of your day. But yeah, glad you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week for the last Pilates on YouTube. Bye!